What's up, Roboteers, and welcome to the Combat Crew, the show where we discuss teams in the exciting world of combat robots and document their sweetest triumphs and most bitter defeats. I'm your host, Chris K, and today we'll be looking at a team who helped launch combat robots in the eyes of the public by launching most of their opponents. I'm, of course, talking about the team who brought you Toro and Bronco, Team Inertia Labs. Team Inertia Labs is headed by Alexander Rose and Reason Bradley. Alexander Rose is the executive director of the Long Now Foundation, a foundation that is built on fostering ideas that will benefit us in the long term rather than immediate solutions. Their most ambitious project to date is the construction of the 10,000-year clock, a clock that will run uninterrupted and with little maintenance for the next 10,000 years. Visit their website to learn more. It's truly fascinating. I'll put a link in the description below. Reason Bradley is a sonar technician and the president of the USM, the Universal Sonar Mount. His company created the, you guessed it, a universal sonar mount that makes it easier when scouting the ocean floor. Also, an odd fact is when you look back at the Bronco 2016 page, it claims that his body is 6% titanium. Okay. Now, most people who are new to combat robots will recognize this team from Bronco, and most of the old heads remember Toro, but there are a few other toys they have that most people don't remember, these being Rhino, T-Minus, the Matador, and the Butcher. When you include these with Bronco and Toro, this team consists of 6 bots. Now let's start with the oldest, and mostly forgotten, Rhino. Rhino is a super heavyweight bot who competed early as the 97 Robot Wars. He sported a diamond-shaped chassis as well as a very unique weapon. Rhino used a canister of Halon fire extinguisher gas that he would spray out from both ends, stalling the combustion engines of his opponents. It's surprising that the weapon was allowed back then, or to be honest, even worked at all. This strange weapon proved effective against his first opponent, Scorpion, shown here in the squiggly UFO footage. Rhino unfortunately wouldn't get a second shot at using his unique weapon because his next opponent was the electric-powered, Chad himself, the Killer Carpet, Biohazard. Ugh, tough luck, Rhino.
Pretty easy, yep, pretty easy.
Rhino returned the fight in BattleBots Long Beach 99 in the heavyweight division and went through a huge change. This time his gas power weapon was removed due to BattleBots rules, and he turned it into a pneumatic spike that he used to punch his opponents. Rhino went on an absolute tear in Long Beach, knocking out Voltark, Razor, and Vlad the Impaler. Just look at this bracket. The dude lost early in winners, but then started to carve his way up through losers bracket and made it to the semis. He went 7-2. That's friggin' insane. But sadly, his future looked grim. In Vegas 99, he went on a very less impressive 2-1, defeating Ronan and Nightmare but got shelled by Vlad. Even worse is that his last appearance in BattleBot Season 1, he lost to Duel and then was immediately eliminated. A sad end to a bot that started off so impressive. The next member of the team will live in infamy as a crowd favorite and one of the bots most people remember, Toro. Toro debuted in Season 2 of BattleBots as a super heavyweight and did decently, defeating Tripoltaraptor and a can of SpaghettiOs, but losing to the season's eventual runner-up, Atomic Wedgie. Toro dominated the Super Heavyweight Rumble. In less than a minute and a half, it scored flips on World Peace, Revision Z, Minion, Liquid Lunch, and Dissector. With that stellar performance, it was declared the winner. Season 3 was the same story, going 2-1 against World Peace and Sphere, but losing to Minion, and again going friggin' nuts in the Rumble and winning the thing. Season 4, however, was a much different story. Season 4 can be described in 2 words: absolute dominance. Everyone he saw, he flipped. He flipped Maximus, he flipped Judge, he flipped Gladiator, he flipped LBE and New Cruelty. Everyone who wanted some got some and more, all the way to the Giant Nut and the team winning their first championship. The only thing that would have topped off this absolute beast of a season he had would if he pulled the hat trick with the Rumbles, but unfortunately Judge took that from him. Toro looked hot going into Season 5, and his first match was a gimme, a full body spinner. Toro should be able to flip his hockey puck no problem, right? Right? Toro lost his only match in Season 5, and it's really not hard to see why. Toro just stared at Frisbee the whole match and fought so passively. In my mind, this match should have been a repeat of Sphere. Get in quick, flip, done. I don't know what happened during this fight, but Toro wasn't acting like himself. Maybe he was a little distracted by his little brother, sending everyone into space in Season 5. Speaking of, let's talk about the next bot in line, T-Minus. T-Minus was a middleweight bot who made his debut in Season 3, having 4 dark matches against Halo, Kraken, Cheap Shot, and Bumper Bot, knocking out all 4. He then had his first televised fight against one of my personal favorite meme bots, Sunshine Lollybot.
10.
After defeating Lollybot, he would run into T-Rex. T-Rex kept T-Minus at bay by keeping him at a distance and thwacking him at any attempt to get close. Eventually, one of those thwacks was enough to break the power switch on T-Minus's receiver, knocking him out and ending his Season 3 run. Season 4 wasn't as great for T-Minus, going 2-1 after 2 byes. He quickly flipped Ravager and short order Chef, but not before giving his best Mustafa Ali impression, hitting him with that crisp 054. T-Minus would lose to Heavy Metal Noise. After dominating the fight, a lucky hit from HMN would clip T-Minus's failsafe, incapacitating him and sending him home. Remember what I said in Toro's section? That he might have been a little distracted by his brother upstaging him? There's a good reason for that. T-Minus started Season 5 hot, going 3-0 against Trident, Double Agent, and Huggy Bear. But then, the impossible happened. Everyone knew T-Minus was special, but no one knew he was the chosen one.
Introducing first, in the red square, to my right, here is two-time BattleBots World Middleweight Champion, Hazard! Will anyone ever put a stop to that deadly spinning blade? I don't think so. And in the blue square,
Hazard was the greatest middleweight of all time, bar none. Tony Bucchignani created a monster with his low-profile horizontal spinner that led him to 17 straight wins and 3 championships. He faced T-Minus and everyone expected the same, another slaughterhouse session from Hazard, but no one prepared for what was about to happen. T-Minus added an extension on their lifting arm, and using Hazard's new skirts against him, they flipped up the skirt, jamming his bar, and then delivering the final blow that would result in one of the biggest pop-offs and upsets in BattleBots history.
without that blade, Hazard is not Hazard, and T-Minus wins it. That could be it. No way. Amazing. Alexander Rose and Reason Bradley may have done it.
They have done it!
Unthinkable.
Hazard! The king is dead! Oh, man!
What a knockout.
Spectacular!
T-Minus would then go to fight SOB and defeat him in the finals, claiming the team's second giant nut. With a record of 12-2, T-Minus retired on top. The next robot in line wouldn't share the same success. Matador was basically a heavyweight version of Toro, the same idea applied to a different weight class. Funny enough, even though he was the worst performing of the siblings, he was the strongest when he boosted a 12,000-pound lifting force. There isn't much to say about Matador, honestly. In Season 4, he went 3-1, beating Qad the Unmerciful, the Leopard Messiah, who I should point out had no weapon, and Omega 13 but lost to Mo. In Season 5, he beat Frenzy but lost to Warhead, going 1-1. The Matador left little impact on the heavyweight division, but his legacy would live on in another strange way. We'll talk about that later. Now let's talk about the black sheep of the family, the Butcher. Not much can be said about the Butcher besides that he's strange and didn't last long. The Butcher used a unique weapon system, a pneumatic spinning disc. I'm not sure exactly how this thing worked, but according to the wiki, it was similar to a pneumatic punch where it spun the disc in short bursts. It only competed in BattleBots Season 5 in the Super Heavyweight division where it went 2-1, defeating Giannis and losing to Supernova, but winning a demo fight against Bill Dwyer's bot, Evil Cheese Wedge, and completely gutting the thing. The bot will be upgraded after BattleBots and be renamed Hackjob. I wish I could say more about this bot in his short life, but let's not dwell on that. Let's bring the story into the present with the most recent entry, Bronco. Bronco is the name most of you watching probably know. He is the new series premiere flipper, and like Toro back in the day, he's reached fan favorite status. I don't know how ABC or Discovery acts when it comes to copyright strikes, so I'm going to keep videos to a minimum when talking about Bronco or any reboot bot going forward. Bronco had an impressive record in the first 3 seasons of BattleBots, going 13-3 with impressive wins over Witch Doctor, Duck, Lockjaw, Sawblaze, and Warhawk. His only losses in those series came from bots that placed extremely high in those brackets, like Tombstone being Season 1 and went to the finals, Minotaur and Whiplash, who both made it to the semis in Seasons 2 and 3. And then Season 4 happened. Season 4 was brutal for Bronco. He went 0-4. 0 wins. Bagel. He lost to Huge, Free Shipping, the eventual champion Bite Force, and to rub salt in the wounds, he lost to Hydra, the flipper that everybody thinks took his crown. Team Inertia Labs and Bronco were confirmed not to return for 2020 BattleBots, and that's really sad when you think how much they mean to the sport. Even though he had a really rough season, Bronco's still considered a fan favorite, and I eagerly await what the team's next move is. And that's the end of the video.
Hey guys, it's Chris K. I'm in post, and I just realized I didn't record how Matador lived on through Bronco, so here it is. They took the flipping arm off of Matador, they just yeeted it off of him, and put it right on the 2015 Bronco. So the 2015 model of Bronco is using Matador's flipping arm. Yep, I thought it was pretty cool. So back to the video, guys. See ya.
Team Inertia Labs will always be considered a legend of the sport. A team that consisted of 6 bots that racked up a total of 36 wins, 12 losses, earning them 2 world titles, and even more awards if you consider the secondary ones like Rumbles and Coolest Bot. They even have some Antweight bots that I didn't mention, like Pele, Hummer, Cracktorch, Conundrum, and the Ripper. What do you think of Team Inertia Labs? Are they one of your favorite teams? If not, who is? Leave a comment down below and tell me what your favorite team is. Maybe I'll cover them next. Subscribe and hit the bell and you'll be notified when my next video is up. I'm your host, Chris K. Be safe, everyone, and please wash your hands. It's rough out there right now. Peace.